मतलब ये चाहते हैं कि 12वीं में जिनके 50 नहीं है उनको भी भर्ती कर लें।
हाँ, इनका ये है कि क्योंकि सीट खाली जा रही है।
अगर नीट मैंडेटरी हो जाती है तो आज स्टूडेंट्स इसलिए अपीयर नहीं हो रहे कि भाई मैंडेटरी नहीं है, विल अदरवाइज गेट एडमिशन, दे मस्ट हैव एक्सप्लोर्ड दी स्टैटिस्टिक्स फॉर पास्ट ईयर। आपके होम्योपैथी आयुर्वेद में डिमांड तो इस पर जब से हुआ है, जब से ये नेशनल हेल्थ मिशन ने जो है आप लोगों को रूरल पोस्टिंग देना शुरू किया है।
इसको हटा के अपन करेंगे तो वो बच्चा भी होम्योपैथी पढ़ के कल को डॉक्टर बनेगा जो इतने नंबर भी नहीं ला पा रहा।
80% seats are going vacant only because
No, why are they going vacant?
there is no NEET candidate available.
Where student is not harassed to take different examinations at different point of time, putting in lot of pressure and anxiety and depression and so many things on him. He takes one exam, on the basis of the ranking he goes according to the merit.
I want to be a cardiac surgeon. I will not appear for Unani and Siddha. Diploma course, he will not appear for IIT. That is the difference. It is like appointing Tehsildar through UPSC.
EWS, it is 50 percentile.
ये मिनिमम चाहिए नीट में अगर आपको होम्योपैथी में जाना है
तो who is appearing? होगा नहीं. Who is appearing for National Testing Agency?
सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जब ये मैटर किया था तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये नहीं देखना है कि कॉलेज चल रहा है कि नहीं, कॉलेज की वायबिलिटी इज नॉट द इशू.
This we have made a compilation of all the regulations and all the acts, my lord, at one place, so that, my lords, it does not contain any other document except the regulations and the acts, my lord.
Yes.
My lord, the issue here is, my lord, and the broader issue is,
Yes, sir. Yes.
my lord, my lord, the broader issue before your lordship is, my lord, there is a entrance examination called NEET, my lord. That NEET is designed and structured for MBBS and BDS. Now the question is whether that NEET can be a source of admission for other courses like Indian system of medicine, homeopathy, and in Indian system of medicine there are Ayurveda, Siddha, Rova, Sikpa. There are so many other modes of medicine, my lord, and treatment. So the broader issue is only this, whether this NEET which is going on would be the source for giving admissions, and those who do not give that NEET will not be entitled to get admission in Ayurveda. Now, these matters, my lord, pertain to year 21-22 and 22-23. My lord, earlier there was a Homeopathy Act of 1973. That stood repealed Wide Act of 2020. So these matters are pertaining to 21-22 and 22-23 after the enactment of 2020 Central Homeopathy Act, my lord. And in this compilation, lordship would see page number 41 is that act, my lord.
41. Yes. Yes.
Now it is called, my lord, National Commission for Homeopathy Act, my lord. Lordship may turn to section 14 at page 45. And this is the crux, my lord. 14 says,
45 is part of the rules.
no, my lord, page 45 is section 14 of the Central Act, my lord. Of
the
compilation, my lord.
the compilation.
They have made compilation
Yes,
of
sir.
all the, yes, my lord. That
All
is
right.
a convenience compilation only, my
Yes,
lord.
yes. 45.
My lord, the act
Yes.
starts at page 41.
Yes.
That is the National Commission for Homeopathy Act 2020.
Yes.
And I'll take to the other provisions later on. Please come to 14, my lord, at
Yes.
page 45.
Yes.
14.1 says, there shall be a uniform national eligibility entrance test for admission to undergraduate in homeopathy in all medical institutions governed under this act. The commission shall conduct national eligibility cum entrance test in English and such other languages through such designated authority and in such manner as may be prescribed. 3. The Commission shall specify the regulations, the manner of conducting common counseling by the designated authority for admission to all the medical institutions governed under this Act, provided that the common counseling shall be conducted by the designated authority of central government and the state government. Coming to 14.1, my lord. There shall be a uniform national eligibility cum entrance test for admission to the undergraduate in homeopathy in all medical institutions governed under this Act. Now turn to the definitions, Miller. Medical institutions is defined at page 42, section 2J. Medical institution means institutions within or outside India which grants degrees, diploma, licenses in homeopathy. Kindly mark this, my lord, in homeopathy, and includes affiliated colleges and deemed to be universities. So under 14.1, it contemplates a uniform NEET for undergraduate courses in homeopathy. It's absolutely clear even otherwise without going into the definition of what is meant by medical institutions. So there will be a uniform NEET for homeopathy for institutions covered under this Act. Now medical institutions is also defined that homeopathy and other allied to homeopathy. It will be conducted by the commission. Commission is also defined. 2D, my lord. Commission means the National Commission for Homeopathy constituted under section 3. So, my lord, after 2020, the law requires that for homeopathy colleges, there will be a uniform NEET for homeopathy colleges, and that NEET will be conducted by the commission. That is the Homeopathy Commission. Now, I do not think, my lord, there is any ambiguity in 14.1, my lord. And this is the crux of the matter, my lord.
What was the position prior to 20?
Prior to 20, my lord, would not be relevant, but still I'll take your lordships to 1973 Act. But then, my lord,
73 Act.
outset I said, present case before your lordships is session 21-22 and 22-23. My lords may for reference go into the prior history, but for deciding these cases, after 2020 Act was enacted, 14.1 absolutely clearly stipulates that there would be a uniform test amongst all homeopathy colleges to be conducted by the council, that is the Homeopathy Council.
Yes.
Now, I have shown the definition of commission, I have shown the definition of medical institution, and homeopathy is also defined, my lord. And section 3, my lord, defines the commission, my lord, how it would be constituted. It is functional.
What was the position prior to this amendment?
Yes. 1973 Act was there, and that your lordship would find at page 28 of this compilation.
28.
Prior to that, my lord, section 28, page 28, that is the 1973 Act. That contemplated, my lord, under section 20,
So you are concerned with which therapy?
homeopathy and allopathy both, my lord.
Both?
Yes.
No.
They are
In this-
parameteria.
In this petition?
Homeopathy.
Only?
Only. In this petition only. And then in the bunch, there are other Ayurveda also, my lord, under the Indian System of Medicine Act 2020, which is parameteria.
There are admissions to both the kind of
The
colleges.
lordship would have a look at the list.
In
Half
some
of the
petitions
colleges-
it is homeopathy, some petitions it is Ayurveda.
Half of them are homeopathy and half of them are approximately
Ayurveda. All right.
Now, my lord,
Now,
lordship
if you
asked-
come to the repealing section, 58, it talks about repealing of Indian Medicine Central Council Act and the Central Council of Indian Medicine. Page 55. So prior to 20, there was a separate act for homeopathy,
73.
and for other uh, fields of medicine, it was the Central Act, Central
It was
Council.
their own separate 1978 Act. Indian System of Medicine Act, covering Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, those courses.
All except allopathy and homeopathy.
No, two broad streams. Allopathy not involved here.
Uh,
One is homeopathy, Special Central Act. Second is Indian System of Medicine, separate act covering Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, so and so.
Right.
So there are two broad segments of
What is the Central Council of Indian Medicine Act?
that covers Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, so and so.
No, why two acts?
Because homeopathy is separate act and Indian System of Medicine is separate act. Homeopathy is concerned only with homeopathy and Indian System of Medicine is concerned with Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, other courses.
If you come to 55, section 58 1 says, these two acts stand repealed.
All it says is, Milord, 70 Act में दोनों तो नहीं लिखा।
All right, we'll see.
Yes.
Please proceed.
Now, Milord, after 2020,
Yes.
position prior could be, Milord, and Lordship would see, Milord, page 56 of the compilation, that is the Indian System of Medicine Act 2020. Since they are parameteria, Milord, I'll refer to the Homeopathy Act only, Milord. Page 41 and page 48, Milord. Lordship was at section 58 at page 47.
Yes.
Please see 59, Milord.
59. Yes.
The commission, page 48, running page, Milord.
Yes, yes.
The commission shall be the successor interest of the Central Council of Homeopathy, including its subsidiaries or own trust, and all assets, liabilities of the Central Council of Homeopathy shall be deemed to have been transferred to the commission. 2. Notwithstanding the repeal of Homeopathy Central Council Act 1973, the educational and medical standards requirement and other provisions of Homeopathy Central Council Act 73 and the rules and regulations made thereunder shall continue to be in force and operate till new standards or requirements are specified under this act or the rules and regulations made thereunder. So when 2020 Act came into picture, there were, my lord, previous regulations.
All right. So this says that it has to be admission has to be through the NEET qualified candidates. Yes.
Delhi High Court in one interim order read only one word uniform. Section 14(1), it read, picked up one word of uniform and said uniform means the NEET already which is happening, ignoring the language which is crystal clear for homeopathy colleges conducted by the commission. Other side would refer to that order, interim order, have sir. But then my submission here was that after 2020, and 59 would have some relevance because 59(2) says that the rules and regulations would continue to be in force.
So, Mr. Nagar, first let me ask you that question. What do you want from this court?
Broader question, I started with that, that the issue is whether admissions to homeopathy and Indian System of Medicine courses will be through the NEET which is going on for MBBS and BDS or under section 14 of the 2020 Act of Homeopathy as well as Parameteria Act of Indian System of Medicine.
No, 14 says NEET.
The word is NEET. It is a generic term.
Yeah.
Just like in our times, it used to be any medical college, PMT and PET. You are preparing for anything, it used to be medical and PMT and PT. So the NEET is a generic word.
No, you want admissions to be done out of which? Not from the NEET list, but
The NEET to be conducted by the Council of Homeopathy for this purpose.
So you want that there should be multiple exams
This
for
is
the
what
students securing admission to the MBBS, BDS, homeopathy, veterinary, Ayurvedic or other Indian system of medicine courses. They should appear in multiple exams to be conducted by different agencies. Then we'll come to the moot question. What is the syllabus prescribed for appearing in these entrance examination? Whether you appear with the same three subjects, biology that comprises of zoology, botany, physics and chemistry, or there are other subjects prescribed, say for Indian system of medicine, you are required to appear in Sanskrit or in some other paper. You'll have to show that also.
yes, Milord. First thing, Milord.
the NEET is conducted under certain provisions. Is there any statute for
Under the
conduction of
regulations.
NEET?
They have framed regulations now, which I have complied with. Regulations are on record. Milord, if section 14(1) anywhere indicates
No, I think the answer would lie in that NEET, the provisions governing the NEET exam.
Lordship would see page 88 of the compilation, where now they have framed regulations, page 89.
So regulations of 22.
Yes. So this is not what we want. This is what the law wants. That as per section 14, there has to be a separate NEET for homeopathy to be conducted by the Homeopathy Council. And our submission stands, my lord, not only fortified, but answered by page 89 regulations framed called Bachelor of Homeopathy Medicines and Surgery BMHS Regulations 2022. Please see 4.2, my lord. There shall be a uniform entrance examination for all homeopathy medical institutions, namely National Eligibility Entrance Test for admission to the undergraduate courses in the medical institutions in each academic year, and shall be conducted by an authority designated by the National Commission for Homeopathy. So it is the requirement of law now. My lord, 14(1) was itself sufficient. But now the regulations have been framed that there would be an exam, unfortunately called NEET, which is creating all the confusion. And that NEET would be conducted by National Commission for Homeopathy.
This means that there will be a common national entrance examination, national eligibility come entrance examination, and various regulatory bodies, be it homeopathy, Ayurveda, or the English system of medicine, they will be sending requisition to the common body to conduct examination to select the candidates to be admitted in their respective colleges.
Now, had it been the situation, my lord, or the intention, my lord, under the Indian system of medicine,
Because this is the meaning of this clause 4.2. उसमें कहते हैं there shall be a uniform entrance examination for all homeopathy medical institution, namely NEET, for admission to undergraduate course in medical in each academic year, and shall be conducted by an authority. Otherwise, there was no need for saying this. Authority designated by the National Commission for Homeopathy. So, National Commission for Homeopathy can designate the authority, that is the
so
authority which is conducting
what is coming from your lordship is that the National Commission for Homeopathy may say that the NEET being conducted by for MBBS would be the NEET for admissions. But, my lord, for Indian system of medicine, they have already conducted a separate exam for one of the streams. We have filed that. So that is an answer to your lordship's query. If the intention here was, my lord, somebody...
Right now we are dealing with homeopathy. When we come to that, as far as homeopathy
No,
is concerned,
I'm just answering. Homeopathy has not conducted a separate exam,
Yes.
but Indian system of medicine, in one of the streams, they have already conducted a separate examination for their own stream.
So according to you, under this regulations, there is a provision that the commission would be
Commission is
shall be conducted by an authority designated by the Commission of Homeopathy.
My lord, just like
That has not been done.
just like PSC conducts examination. So National Commission for Homeopathy may not itself conduct. It may ask some examination body to conduct it.
Right.
That does not mean that there would be a NEET which is already designed for MBBS and BDS would be the need for Unani and Siddha.
So what is the disadvantage you face because
Yes.
of this?
Milord, the level, standard, everything is different. The situation is, Milord, that in all the homeopathy and Ayurveda colleges, out of say 100, there are hardly 10, 15 admissions through the actual NEET, the MBBS NEET. Because I want to be a cardiac surgeon, I will not appear for Unani and Siddha. If I am of the level of Unani and Siddha, I will not appear for, somebody is wanting to do a diploma course, he will not appear for IIT. That is the difference. That the exam is structured like that.
What was happening prior to coming into effect of this 22
Lord,
regulations?
There were regulations of 2018.
Where is that?
I showed your lordship section 59, which said that until regulations are framed, notwithstanding the repeal, the earlier regulations will continue. So in 2018, there were regulations framed. The regulations provided for a general NEET, Milord, without specifying, because 2020 Act was not there. And 73 Act did not provide for a separate NEET for homeopathy. So 2018 regulations said that it will be through NEET. There was a challenge throughout the country. Karnataka High Court set aside those 2018 regulations. One matter went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court decided the SLP, Milord, on two grounds. One was whether they have power to frame such regulations or not. One. And second was whether these regulations have been validly framed under 22, subsection 2 of 20. There is a requirement that once regulations are framed, they will be sent to all the states, which are the stakeholders, for their comments. And only after those regulations would be framed. Karnataka judgment is also on record. I'll show that. First, your lordship would just see, Milord, the...
Mr. Nagarath, our question to you was that prior to coming into force of these new provisions,
2020 Act.
2020 Act,
Ji.
how admissions were made to various homeopathic colleges, because
Milord-
PMT stood abolished long back. Then after PMT, there were two different forms of exams which took place before coming into force of NEET.
Milord, in MP, there used to be an examination conducted by the state separately for Ayurveda and other courses. Not through the PMT. It was called PAHUT, Milord. PAHUT.
That was prior to coming into force of NEET. 2018-19 में क्या हुआ?
Milord, 18 में जो regulations आए थे वही मैं...
व्यापम ने एग्जाम कंडक्ट किया. PAHUT used to be conducted by व्यापम.
Yes, for these courses. Not
Earlier.
Yeah, for
They
those
were conducting PMT
separately.
separately.
So the same reason I am answering your lordship's question. What is the problem in appearing in the NEET? The problem is the same which was through PMT and PAHUT earlier.
And then that brings us to the original query which I had put to you.
Right.
That whether the syllabus for entrance examination for these three streams of medicine is different for a student pursuing or possessing 12th class qualification, that is higher secondary qualification 10+2, with science subjects is only entitled to appear for these courses. Because
Milord-
unless you answer that,
Milord, Milord, the qualifying is 12th.
qualifying
it is the
12
same-
subjects are also the same.
Yes. Milord, it is like appointing Tehsildar through UPSC. Saying that what difference does it make? You appoint a Tehsildar through
For
UPSC.
your information, Tehsildar is still appointed through UPSC for union territories.
Agreed. Milord, what I am saying is there is a level of difference in the structure of the examinations. That is why, Milord, prior to 18, there was a PMT and there was a special examination conducted. In 2018-19, there was a controversy. I'm just showing what is the
Mr.
controversy.
Nagarath, if you come to this syllabus of this NEET, 142,
Yes, Milord.
it's a very generic kind of a syllabus. It is not specific to any allopathy or homeopathy or
But
it is
this
say
sil-
physics, chemistry, botany, zoology.
This syllabus is provided by National Medical Commission. That is the different act for MBBS. That is the difference.
That is for allopathy.
No,
Only.
that is for MBBS.
Allopathy.
No, no.
Allopathy stream of medicine.
Yes. Yes. Page 142, Milan.
Well, you have to have that minimum proficiency. They are only testing the minimum proficiency in these general subjects, which will be used by students of all the therapies, whether it is allopathy or it is homeopathy or it's Ayurveda.
There is no quarrel with that.
So that this common entrance test only tests that minimum standard whether you have it or not, and then you are studying and you are taught that particular field when you enter.
And then the orientation is also different. Orientation is student centric, where a student is not harassed to take different examinations at different point of time, putting in lot of pressure and anxiety and depression and so many things on him. He takes one exam, on the basis of the ranking he goes according to the merit.
But then, Milord, that would mean section 14 would have to be read to say that it is the same NEET which is being conducted, not by the commission, because language of section 14 read with the regulations now framed. If your lordship may
Now the exams have been held. No. NEET exam, NEET test has been held.
Yes, for 22, 23 it has been held.
For 22, 23,
It's been held. So there is an interim order.
and admissions have taken place.
Yes, there is an interim order. Unfilled seats.
Who has conducted that NEET?
National Testing Agency.
Same body. Same body.
So that's why there is an interim order that those unfilled seats, because colleges got 10 seats out of 100 through that NEET, because nobody appears Unani, Siddha, Ayurveda. So there is an interim order that who are otherwise qualified on the unfilled seats, after all the NEET qualified,
Qualified means there's some passing marks. In NEET.
50% is the benchmark. No?
50% benchmark.
So the admissions cannot take place if somebody has secured less than 50% in NEET.
Not NEET.
Ah.
Not after the NEET qualified have taken, this is the interim order, that after the NEET qualified have taken admission, the remaining seats will be filled at the college level. That is the...
From the NEET list.
No, not the NEET list. Otherwise...
How can you go beyond the NEET list?
Because 2020 Act says there has to be separate NEET, and which is being held in different courses, other courses. So if your lordship's
No,
were to-
2020 Act also says NEET conducted by a particular body. Now it has not been conducted by that body, but by some other body, which was the arrangement earlier.
But Homeopathy Council has not said that the NEET being conducted for MBBS would be the NEET we have authorized for admissions in this. That's not their case.
What is their stand?
Their stand is that,
The commission stand.
Milord, they are sticking on 2018 regulations.
Mr. Nagat, had you been standing for the students, then your anxiety that students will not be getting a fair chance to compete, will be biased or prejudice their interest, would have been taken care of. Standing for the colleges, your stand has to be more rational, and you'll have to put in more material to justify that what you are going to gain, how you are interested in the whole scheme of examination, because your relationship with the student is that of a teacher and a taught. You are only there to impart, maintaining the standards prescribed by the respective council. So your interest, you're coming here, vis-a-vis students coming here, seeking for a relief, that anomaly is to be reached out.
We have set up colleges. The
Yes.
seats are, yes, obviously, Milord. I cannot even for a second deny that. I say, Milord, if I have 150 strength, 20-30 seats are being filled, otherwise 80% seats are going vacant, only because
No, why are they going vacant?
there is no NEET candidate available. No NEET candidate available.
No, there are lakhs of people sitting in NEET.
Still no NEET. Nobody opts for.
Is there a passing marks in NEET
If I have, Milord,
for admission?
if I have to become a surgeon, I would not take admission in
50% होना चाहिए
नो नो
रेगुलर।
50 वो तो 12वीं में
उसके लिए
नहीं वो तो 12वीं में होना चाहिए।
तो ऊपर वाले जाएंगे,
हाँ
मिनिमम 50 वाले फिर होम्योपैथी में
नहीं नहीं वो तो 12वीं में होना चाहिए टू सिट इन नीट 50%। 12वीं में यू शुड हैव
to
50%।
bet fine.
तो वो, हाँ
मतलब ये चाहते हैं कि 12वीं में जिनके 50 नहीं है उनको भी भर्ती कर लें।
हाँ, इनका ये है कि क्योंकि सीट खाली जा रही
नहीं
है।
नहीं वो नहीं, 50 से ऊपर, मतलब जो नीट में अपियर होने के लिए 50% जो है उसके ऊपर वालों को।
इसका दूसरा एंगल देखिए ना, अगर नीट मैंडेटरी हो जाती है तो आज स्टूडेंट्स इसलिए अपीयर नहीं हो रहे कि भाई मैंडेटरी नहीं है, विल अदरवाइज गेट एडमिशन, दे मस्ट हैव एक्सप्लोर्ड दी स्टैटिस्टिक्स फॉर past years, they, but when it becomes mandatory then more number of people will be competing, you will be getting candidates.
बट मिलोट,
और फिर डिमांड एंड सप्लाई भी तो है आपके होम्योपैथी आयुर्वेद में। डिमांड तो इस पर जब से हुआ है, जब से ये नेशनल हेल्थ मिशन ने जो है आप लोगों को रूरल पोस्टिंग देना
Yes.
शुरू किया है, उसके पहले तो देयर वाज हार्डली एनी डिमांड।
मिलोट, इन द लास्ट 3 years,
No, but the question has not yet been answered. Is there any passing marks in NEET for admission to the course? Mr. Seth, I don't think there is.
page 10,
There is page, Lord may kindly have this WB 4609, ये 2 नंबर पे लगा।
नहीं नहीं इसमें
clause 15.1.
नीट का जो रेगुलेशन है वो हमारे सामने है, सो
नहीं,
बताइए।
ये स्टेट ने फिर नीट के रेगुलेशंस के बाद फिर अपने एक रेगुलेशंस बनाए हैं, उसमें मिनिमम फिक्स किया है।
क्या फिक्स किया?
दैट इज प्रवेश के लिए माध्यमिक शिक्षा मंडल मध्य प्रदेश भोपाल की 10+2 प्रणाली से 12वीं परीक्षा अथवा मध्य प्रदेश शासन के स्कूल शिक्षा विभाग द्वारा मान्यता प्राप्त किसी अन्य बोर्ड या केंद्रीय माध्यमिक बोर्ड से समकक्ष भौतिकी, रसायन, स्वयंसो प्रत्येक विषय अलग अलग उत्तीर्ण करते हुए संयुक्त रूप से न्यूनतम 50% अंक प्राप्त अनारक्षित तथा न्यूनतम 40% अंक प्राप्त अनारक्षित प्रवर्ग के अभ्यर्थी ही पात्र होंगे।
नहीं, that is different. That
That
is
12th का minimum.
That is the eligibility qualification.
12th
That we
12th का
understand.
minimum.
हाँ,
12th
that
का
is for 12th
page 179, sir, compilation.
of your
Compilation.
compilation.
No, 15.1.
1.2 million.
No, 15.
Yes, Milord. Both read together, Milord.
हाँ।
सर है सर, इसमें स्टेट के रूल्स में भी है।
50 percentile है, 50% नहीं है. There is a difference between
Percentile.
50 percentile and 50%.
Yes.
Even a
अनुसूचित
person
जाति के लिए-
scoring 20% में भी within 50
हाँ हाँ,
percentile.
ये मिनिमम
It is
चाहिए,
percentile, it is not percent.
ये मिनिमम चाहिए नीट में अगर आपको होम्योपैथी में जाना है तो।
So in case of general EWS, it is 50 percentile
परसेंटाइल
and remaining
40.
40, 40 and 45. So you don't get students securing this kind of percentile.
Nobody appears, Milord, because
Huh?
no registrations even, Milord.
से कैसे हो सकता है?
And that is why, Milord, that is why when 2018 regulations were framed,
No, just a minute, Mr. Seth. So there's dearth of candidates securing this kind of percentile in NEET.
It is their grievance that the students don't secure this much mark and therefore they are not getting student. That is basically their case.
No, is it true or not?
होगा सर, तभी तो नहीं जा।
Who is appearing? नहीं, होगा नहीं. Who is appearing for National Testing Agency? Whether National Testing Agency has been made a party or not, because that statistics can be given by NTA only.
No, yes. There is not a party.
नहीं पाते।
तो एनटीए ही तो देगी ना वो स्टैटिस्टिक्स कि कितने स्टूडेंट अपीयर हुए, कितने जो है 50 परसेंटाइल या 40 परसेंटाइल अलग अलग कैटेगरीज में सिक्योर किए, क्या ओवरऑल सिनेरियो ऑफ सीट्स इन वेरियस कॉलेजेस है।
एक्चुअली सर, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जब ये मैटर गया था तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये नहीं देखना है कि कॉलेज चल रहा है कि नहीं, कॉलेज की वायबिलिटी इज नॉट द इशू, द इशू इज वेदर द स्टैंडर्ड्स फिक्स्ड फॉर मेडिकल।
That is what I said. We said in the beginning.
So that is there in-
We are not college centric. We are student centric. Our approach has to be student centric.
वी हैव टू मेंटेन द स्टैंडर्ड्स, मिनिमम स्टैंडर्ड। इससे अगर कम नंबर कोई ला रहा है तो फिर वो होम्योपैथी भी नहीं पढ़ सकता, ये इसकी मंशा है। तो मतलब अब अभी जब इसको हटा के अपन करेंगे तो वो बच्चा भी होम्योपैथी पढ़ के कल को डॉक्टर बनेगा जो इतने नंबर भी नहीं ला पा रहा। सो दिस इज lowering the standards. The writ petitioners, their relief. My lord.
No, but Mr. Nagaraj, where have you said that you could not find students of this percentage and that is why seats are vacant?
Yes.
Where have you said in your petition?
At least in the current years, we have said it elaborately. I'll just show you. चार्ट लगाया ना कहीं पे? 5.31 para of the writ petition.
5.31.
It is humbly submitted. If the seats are allowed to go vacant, which
Just,
is about
just a minute, just a minute.
No. Our question to you is, where is the statistics? This is the generalized statement
from our college's side of it.
from your college's
Yes.
side. Where is the statistics? You'll have to come out with a complete set of statistics. How many students undertake this examination? How many had secured under general/EWS category 50 percentile? How many from reserve category were placed under 40 percentile and handicap under 45 percentile? And what is the distribution of seats pan India?
Milord, as colleges, possibly we cannot answer how many appeared, how many distribution. We can only say in our college, how many NEET qualified approached for admission. This is the data as college we can give. But then how many appeared pan India, which category, that possibly.
Oh, that NEET will,
Yes, that
will be able
possibly
to
we
provide us.
cannot. But yes, we have, Milord, in the, like we have said, almost 80 to 90% seats are falling vacant since last 2 years.
Vacant.
Yes.
And उसके पहले की क्या स्टैटिस्टिक्स थी? आप कितने बच्चे ले पाते थे?
जी
आप इंडिविजुअल कॉलेज में कितने बच्चों ने एडमिशन लिया? जैसे
मिलट जब पाहुट होता था 100% और अभी भी 2 इंटरिम ऑर्डर से 100%.
NEET को ले आए
So when
उसमें आप नेशनल टेस्टिंग एजेंसी को क्यों नहीं पार्टी बना लेते? और
Milord, in fresh matters we have made.
उनका
made.
representing
In the
NDA.
22-23 session, Milord, this current ones.
Are they before us?
Yes, Milord, I'll give
No, somebody is before us for the testing agency.
Who is representing NTA? अरे भैया आपने बोल रहे पार्टी बनाया तो
power नहीं आया.
नोटिस इशू हुए नहीं हुए?
Notice.
Gone normally any standing counsel for the testing agency.
State Solicitor General can be directed, my lord, because it's a central agency.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Vikram Singh can also see.
Mr. Yadav is here.
Lordship, just may kindly appreciate one paragraph of the reply which has been filed on the part of the Government of India in WP number 9340/2022.
What is it?
Reply is there, Lordship. That issue has already been settled, Lordship. Yes, Lordship. That the Indian Medicine Central Council Minimum Standard of Education in Indian Medicines Amendment Regulation 2018 bear under challenge before the Honorable Supreme Court in India. In Union of India versus Federation of Self-Finance Ayurveda College, Punjab and others. Civil Appeal number 603/2020. It was alleged by the petitioner therein that the regulation are ultra vires the Indian Medicine Central Council Act 1970. The Honorable Supreme Court held that the regulations were readily made and were enforceable since they were squarely covered by the powers bestowed on the Central Council of Indian Medicine by the Indian Medical Central Council Act 1970, now repealed by the NCI SM Act 2022. That with regard to the virus of Indian Medical Central Council Minimum Standard of the Education in Indian Medicines, Amendment Regulation 2018, the Honorable Supreme Court held as follows. As stated above, the point that arises for our consideration is whether the students seeking admissions to undergraduate courses, BMS, BUMS, BSMS, and BHMS, and postgraduate courses can be denied admission on the ground that they did not take the NEET or that they did not get the minimum percentile prescribed by 2018 regulations. It was contended on behalf of the institution that the students that the 2018 regulations are ultra vires the Act. No power is conferred on the Central Council to make regulation for introduction of an all India entrance examination under Section 36 of the Act. It is relevant to refer the provisions of Indian Medicine Central Council Act 1970, Section 22 of the Act confers power on the Central Council to prescribe minimum standards of education in Indian medicine, which are required for granting recognized medical qualification by the universities, boards, or medical institution in India. Section 36 provides that Central Council may, with the previous sanction of the central governments, make regulations generally to carry out the purposes of the Act. Section 36(1). We are in agreement with the contention made on behalf of the students and the institutions that the introduction of an all India examination will not be covered by Section 36(1)(j) and K of the Act. However, Section 36(p) refers to any matter under the Act for which the provisions may be made by the regulations. In our considered opinion, Section 22, which deals with the minimum standards of education in Indian medicines, cover the topic of an all India common entrance examination. We are supported in this view by a judgment of this court in Veterinary Council of India versus Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Section 22 of the Veterinary Council of India Act is in parameteria with Section 22 of the Indian Council of Medicine Act. An all India common entrance examination was introduced by the regulations made by the Veterinary Council of India in 1993, and an examination was conducted pursuant thereto from the academic year 1995-1996. The dispute pertaining to the validity of regulation was resolved by this court by holding that the Veterinary Council of India is authorized to frame regulations prescribing the standard of veterinary education, and such power includes power to make regulation relating to grant of admission and veterinary qualifications. This court observed that such authority to frame regulations regarding admission is necessary for maintaining the standards of the education. The instant case is squarely covered by the law laid down by this court in Veterinary Council of India Supra. Therefore, we are of the opinion that the 2018 regulations cannot be said to be ultra vires. Prescribing the minimum percentile, now this is important law. Prescribing a minimum percentile for admission to the undergraduate courses for the year 2019-22 was vehemently defended by the Central Council and the Union of India by submitting that the minimum standards cannot be lowered even for Ayush courses, including the BHMS and BMH also. We agree doctors who are qualified in Ayurvedic, Unani and homeopathic streams also treat patients, and the lack of minimum standards of the education would result in half-baked doctors being turned out of the professional colleges. Non-availability of the eligible candidates. Now this is a point which Your Lordship has raised. Non-availability of the eligible candidates for admission to Ayush undergraduate courses cannot be the reason to lower the standards prescribed by the Central Council for admission. And apparent from the above, the virus and authority of the impugned regulation has already been decided by the Honorable Supreme Court in Civil Appeal number 603/2020.
Where is this order?
Milord, I was showing.
Your Lordship, it has been incorporated in
We have filed
the
it.
my reply, Your Lordship.
Filed it.
It is there in my reply.
विक्रम सिंह जी WP नंबर बताएंगे प्लीज WP
Milord, first your lordship may see the
It's
18 regulations. Milord.
WP number 9340/2022.
934022
Yes, Lordship.
उसके reply में है
Page 31 in the petition is the 2018 regulations, which were subject to of challenge before the Supreme Court. Page 31, Milord. These are called as
No, this is Union of India versus Federation of Self
Yes, Lordship. Yes.
Ayurvedic.
Yes, Your Lordship. I am referring to the same.
The P3, 56. You are reading this order.
I am reading
Supreme
that just gist of that order, Lordship,
All right.
which I have been incorporated there in my reply in that WP 9340/2020.
all the cases I have filed the reply, so I am appearing for the CCI, that is the parent body. And this particular order, along with the division bench of the Delhi High Court, these two orders I have annexed as R1 and R2.
Milord, if I could complete my submissions, Milord. Midway, everybody has started, Milord. I was repeatedly saying, please see regulations 2018. My friend started reading something. I was showing 2018 regulations. I have said that Supreme Court decided it on 2 grounds. So I was not even, Milord.
They have
My friend
derailed.
is-
They have derailed you.
No, I won't get derailed. But it's a waste of lordship's time, Milord.
No,
Milord,
fine. Then let us first go through that judgment,
Milord,
and then when next time we sit, so we'll hear the remaining arguments. Because there is the regular bench also which has to meet. Urgent matters are there. So when should we sit? You can fix a date or
Monday, please.
Monday.
Let them adopt the reply in other cases, my lord. Otherwise, they will have a grievance.
No, Monday, by Monday they will not be able to do that.
They have to adopt.
Will also be
They have a
limited
week in between. They just have to adopt via one
No,
panel.
week is all holidays.
after holy vacation, also
not
may
in the
be in the
central
first state also.
Not in the central government.
Will also be
We can adjust here and there.
I have
my
to
lord.
file the reply in
It's
relation.
working for 4 days, 5 days.
13th.
I have to file the reply in relation to the homeopathic bunch of the cases also.
Week commencing 20th.
My lord,
Week commencing 20th March. Next week would be 13th, beginning from 13th.
some of their SLPs are listed on 13th also. My lord. They are alleging matters are not heard. Now here they are seeking time.
No, they should inform that the hearing has started.
What they inform is otherwise that we are avoiding.
नहीं, but you are also there to correct them.
Now we will have to do that.
Let it be on 13th Monday.
इसमें लिखिए that the matter council appearance डाल दीजिएगा. The matter is partly heard. Full stop. Next para. For hearing of the remaining arguments of learned counsel for the petitioner. List the case in the week commencing.
My lord, 14th या 15th कर दे, my lord, I would be obliged. My lord. They'll
All right, we'll place it on 14 then. All right, fine. आप लोग adopt कर लेंगे तब
I
तक.
will do it also. By that time, also I will file even reply in relation to that.
let it also come that they are seeking.
Meanwhile, the who has to adopt?
I have to adapt the reply which has already been filed in Ayurveda cases also.
Not I. Who are you?
I am the government of India also. Union of India.
Union of India
Yes.
is directed to ensure filing of reply or adoption of the reply or
Yes,
filed
in respect of the bunch of the cases.
I am appearing for the CCIM, that is the parent body. In all the matters, I have filed the reply, that is annexed.
All right. The commission. The commission.
Yes, my lord. The parent body, that is Central Council of Indian Medicine, now it is National Council of Indian Medicine, my lord.
अच्छा.
Previously, it was Central Council of Indian Medicine. In few of the matters, they have made me as a party. So I have filed the return.
And what about NEET? NEET that we have to ensure.
I will seek instruction lawsuit on that.
All right.
Yes, Lord.
My lord, Mr. Sanghi has also to file reply in 22-23 cases which are at the end of the list. My lord.
Lawsuit, copies of the petition for NEET may kindly be directed to be supplied in lawsuits. Not for the NEET lawsuit, not.
All right. In which are those cases in which NEET is party? Please tell us those cases. इसमें लिखिए that after hearing part arguments, this court is of the considered view that it would be appropriate for proper adjudication of the issue to hear the National Eligibility
Testing Agency, NTA.
National Testing Agency, which conducts the NEET examination. Especially on the following aspects. Number one, the number of candidates who have secured the minimum percentile of 50%,
Percentile.
50% for unreserved.
Percentile, my lord.
Percentile, yes. 50%, 50 percentile. Percentile of 50. You don't say 50%.
No, it is only 50 percentile marks.
50 percentile for unreserved and 40 and 45 also, I think. 40 for for reserved and 45 for handicapped in the last 3 years.
And those who have eventually taken admission in these alternate courses.
Number two, the number of persons who have secured the aforesaid minimum marks have obtained admissions, have been given admissions.
In homeopathy or in Indian system of medicine,
And
both the faculties.
in different colleges imparting education in homeopathy as well as in Unani.
No, Indian system of medicine. That's
Indian
the umbrella.
system
Yes.
of medicine
Indian system of medicine.
separately.
You will also have the copies of these petitions wherein the NEET has been made the party lawsuit may be directed to be supplied lawsuit. They have supplied the copy which I have already forwarded to the competent agency also. Lordship, I have to take instruction.
Can I, Milord, it is the state counseling, Milord, which will have this data. Because when we give admissions, we give the data to the state. The state has its own rules, Milord, for counseling, and they give the admissions, Milord. So probably, Milord, it is the state which will be able to give the
Counselling-
position.
Counseling is held by
State, Milord.
state.
Yes, for obviously for state colleges in the state of MP.
So state has given that data or not in the reply?
Not given. Not given.
Huh?
Milord, NTA will give nationwide. If my lords are concerned about the Madhya Pradesh, then it is the state government which will give the colleges data of the state of MP colleges.
No, why should we ask?
Depends on what your lordship wants, my lord. वो नेशनल लेवल पे क्यों बुला रहे हैं सर? वो दैट विल बी टू मच. अब वो केरला में क्या हो रहा है, my lord, that would not be very relevant. So let it be the state of MP. The government council may file the data with respect to. There are about 20 colleges, my lord, not much. They'll have just a chart form, my lord. It's not a difficult thing.
All right. So next, let's see, the state council should say it, is also directed to submit the following data. Number one, what is that?
The number of students admitted, Lord, who had secured
The number of students who had secured the minimum percentile in NEET and were admitted to different colleges.
private colleges का ही
To the
चाहिए.
colleges who are party in these bunch of petitions.
गवर्नमेंट में तो जाएंगे ही नहीं. गवर्नमेंट में तो नीट से कम वालों को नहीं दे.
सभी का सिर्फ उनका. All the homeopathic and Indian system of medicine colleges situated in running in the state of Madhya Pradesh. And then what else? Number two,
How many? Lordship has said how many took admission,
how
my lord,
many,
that is what.
how many seats were left vacant?
Which have been filled, my lord, through the interim orders of this court in last 2 years.
Last 2 academic years. And how many seats were left vacant in all the colleges in the state of Madhya Pradesh which were left vacant?
Which have been filled through interim orders of this court, my lord, in the last 2 years, my lord. In 21-22
Number
and
three,
22-23, my lord.
number of seats filled up
They are the petitioners.
by way of the interim orders.
जो इन्होंने काउंसलिंग के बिना भर लिए हैं, स्टेट इज नॉट आंसरेबल फॉर
ये तो कोर्ट ऑर्डर्स के खिलाफ हो गया ना अपना नहीं कोर्ट ने परमिट किया है तो वी हैव डन इट नाउ दे से दे डोंट रिकॉग्नाइज दैट दे
उनके पास they don't have that data. You have the
they
data.
have my lord after the last date of counseling as per the court order whatever admissions we have given along with all particulars
So
we
they
have,
are of persons who have not secured this percentile.
yes, they are non-NEET. The order is that non-NEET
Non-NEET.
because there is nobody coming forward.
Non-NEET means from where have you picked them up?
The 12th one above 50%, my lord, which is a
Barely
qualified.
pass.
Yes. आज तक तो 40 साल से यही हो रहा है 73 से 50 साल से.
No, but this was criticized heavily by Supreme Court in MBBS cases. Heavily.
MBBS के लिए जरूर है कि we don't want that those kind of doctors. But different, my lord. एक होम्योपैथी की गोली खाना और एक that's correct. That's correct, my lord.
नहीं वो नीट के लिए भी है. Shri Vikram Singh
Yes,
is
Lordship,
directed
I
to
will-
serve a copy, additional copy of the petition,
Yes, Lordship.
since he is also been asked to appear for NEET.
Lordship, my presence may kindly
Agency.
be marked, Lordship. My presence may kindly be marked for all the respondents in Government of India, Lordship.
Well,
In all the petitions, Lordship, because my name has not been reflecting. So even I've just brought the file
name
right
of
now.
Shri Vikram Singh be reflected in the cause list,
Highly obliged,
henceforth for the Union of India and its functionaries.
Highly obliged, Lordship.